These are just what I call provocations. There's 12 of them. Here we go. First one. I stumbled across yet another article about Kim Kardashian. Look, I was just trying to check my email and I clicked the wrong thing. I scrolled down to the bottom and I saw that there were 8,000 comments, most of which from people saying how much she doesn't deserve her fame. Don't give energy to something you don't care for. Okay. Next, you gain no strength by placing no weight on the bar you intend to lift at the gym. Yes? Yes. You gain no speed by running in place. You gain no endurance by stopping the moment you start to perspire. So what do you think you stand to gain from surrounding yourself only with people who agree with everything you say? You ever seen an old person talking to themselves? It doesn't start like that. Every old person you see who talks to themselves is just someone who stopped talking to someone the second they disagreed with something they said, and eventually, the only person left you can talk to is you. I was out getting lunch when I overheard a woman say to her boyfriend, "You act as though I'm not even here." I thought, how wonderful would that be? To be so natural around someone, in the company of another human being, in your actions and your demeanor, to give someone the comfort of not having to wonder if you're just pretending to be someone you're not. But I'm sure she just felt like he was ignoring her. Thinking about all the things, these are all second thoughts. I don't know if I said that. Okay. Thinking about all the things I need to do by the end of the day stresses me out. I'm sure it does for you. And ironically, it makes me want to do less. But at the end of the day, focusing on everything I accomplished that day, however small, inspires me to do more. So I no longer make a to-do list, I make an I've done list. The human spirit is the greatest source of renewable energy. It is being drained by those with influence and power, and being sold right back to the people who created it in the first place. Spiritual fracking. Your emotions are being weaponized. Your attention is being monetized. Your time, your attention, your energy is the most valuable commodity in existence. The greatest magician in the world is distracting you with simple sleight of hand, getting you to look at a single card that they drew from the entire deck you were holding the whole time. They have nothing without you, because you have everything within you. I had a hard time believing the news during the height of the COVID quarantine. They kept saying the mortality rate was 2%, then it was supposedly 5%. Neither of those are even remotely accurate. The mortality rate has and always will hold steadily at 100%. 100% of the population is mortal. 100% will die. Look at the words we've chosen to associate the things we talk about today. Web, net, cell. And we wonder why we feel so trapped by technology. What do we commonly call a nuclear reactor that creates acid rain and destroys the very earth from which all life grows? A plant. We call it a feed, but it consists of people starving for attention. We call them friends, despite the fact that none of them have met us and considering the quantity of which we accumulate, never will. We ask for people to follow us, despite the sad reality that many of us are going nowhere. We give our number and our email for 50 cents off a sandwich, but won't give it to someone inviting us to lunch. We call it social media, and yet in its utilization, it is extremely antisocial, constantly ignoring the attention and the company of people sitting and standing next to you to talk to someone who's sitting at home in their pajamas. An app called TikTok. TikTok is the new preferred method to waste time. We continue to refer to this device as a phone, despite knowing that making and receiving calls is its least utilized function. Why are you calling me? Just text. Why'd you leave a voicemail? No one listens. We throw our Cash App, Venmo, PayPal info to anyone because they can pay for our meal, but they're not welcome to join us at the table. We can say we love everyone and take the money they give to pay our rent, but never welcome them into our home. I mean, why call them your fans when you're the one blowing them off? There was a time when they were burning books to keep people from reading. Now our libraries are empty, our bookstores are closing. There was a time where you'd have to wait weeks for a beautiful handwritten letter, and now the Postal Service loses money because people would rather use their thumbs to communicate and voice and don't feel as though they have enough to say to fill a sheet of paper. There was a time where you had to literally fight for the right to vote, and now candidates plague our televisions with ads hoping we'll show up to the ballot. There was a time where you'd be killed for believing in any God at all. And now the only time people pray are prisons, casinos, and hospitals, making quick deals when all they really want is another dollar, another day to spend it. I've heard a lot of people talk about ancestors in history tonight. All of our ancestors, even in their right or their wrong decisions, did what they did so that we could be here today. And in their own way, they fought for rights. You've all been duped to some extent, because the best way to get people to do nothing is to give the freedom to do anything. Thank you.